My fellow mobile gamers, in today's video we got our first impressions review for the mobile game Brotato. A spaceship from Potato World crashes onto an alien planet. The sole survivor, Brotato, the only potato capable of handling 6 weapons at the same time, waiting to be rescued by his mates. Brotato must survive in this hostile environment. This is an auto-firing weapons game where you go around and try to avoid the enemies as much as possible while also trying to destroy them and collect this green currency. I don't know what it's called. So that way you can go ahead and buy additional items, gear, equipment to make your Brotato stronger. This game is a lot of fun. It has a lot of amazing features to it. There's a bunch of different potatoes that you can choose starting out, and they all have different like special effects. There's one that's good with certain weapons. There's one that's like a mage and is good with elemental damage. So there's a lot of variety to it. It never feels boring, even though in an instance you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again. You're just on this little map and you're going around trying to avoid the enemy and destroy them to just go through endless wave after wave. I really like the way this game is done. The graphics are decent, you know what I mean? They are what they are for this type of style of game. But honestly, the best part is just kind of having the chance to unlock all of these different weapons and then equipping it to your Brotato to the point where you can have like 5 different weapons going off at the same time. So you have so much customization and different builds you can do, which makes it fun. You can go ahead and you can have like a handgun and then a submachine gun and then an elemental wand too. Then I had this other item that was putting down turrets for me. Then you have one that's like a melee, a sword or something. So if enemies get too close to you, it'll start attacking. All you have to really do is worry about avoiding the enemies and then trying to pick up all of the like green coins, because that's your currency that you use to go ahead and buy items after you complete a wave. You'll have a variety of different items pop up and they kind of cycle through every new wave, but you do have like a little lock button so you can keep that in case that's something that you don't want to lose. Or they do have a reshuffle button where it can like reshuffle the items so you have a different variety of things that you can get to try and perfect your build. The balance is tough because there's instances where if you do a certain build, the game is extremely easy. And then there's also times where if you don't pick the right items or you don't have like a good build, it becomes extremely hard, like very noticeably different, that some of the items are extremely powerful paired up with some other things where, as you know, the balance is, it's a bit iffy, but it makes it still fun. Also, like early game, sometimes when you don't have enough green coins and you don't have enough items, it can be really tough for you to make it to those later levels. And then once you kind of start to get to those later levels, you have so many weapons and upgrades, it feels like it kind of gets easier, even though it's supposed to get harder because it's a higher level, but really because you have access to so many different new items and so many upgrades, it actually becomes easier the more waves you are able to survive. But overall, I love this game. The audio is pretty good too. You have nice sound effects when you're shooting the weapons and you're hitting the enemies. The monetization, I do not know what they're going to do monetization wise. The version I played was a test version on TapTap. I believe the way they're going is it's going to be a premium game, so you're going to pay just one payment and then you fully unlock the game. As far as I know, there isn't going to be like microtransactions. It's just kind of like a $5 or $10 game, and then you unlock the game and you can just play it endlessly however you want. It's very addictive and fun. In fact, I was playing it and you kind of lose track of time. I got to the point where I was playing for like 20 minutes and it didn't even feel like I was playing for 20 minutes. And then I went ahead and I was like trying out some of the other characters. And I would say that's one of the best parts, is just playing the different Brotatos and trying to experiment. Like, this item is good with this potato character, but then it's not so good with a different type. So the builds is just endless. I love it. It's a game that I definitely highly suggest. You're gonna have a ton of fun with it. It's just something that can kill time, you know, if you're bored and you're just out somewhere and you have some spare time. It's a nice game that you can just kind of pop out on your phone and play for 5 or 10 minutes at an instance. You don't have to worry about like saves or progression or anything like that. It's a nice, quick, like fun game to just, you know, blow some steam off. Overall, I would say this is definitely an amazing game. I'd say it's well above average. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Stay happy, stay safe, and I will see y'all later. Peace.